Ladies and gents, today I'm going to be bringing you my build slash showcase for one of my favorite champions or heroes inside the game of Watcher of Realms. So first of all, if you originally joined the channel for Raid Shadow Legends and you're watching this video anyways, thank you. If you're here for Watcher of Realms content, I have a separate playlist set up for it and everything like that. So make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe and the like button as well, and we'll make sure to be churning out some content that you might enjoy. So of course, like I mentioned, we're going to be doing a showcase on this fine gentleman right here. My account, if you're curious, believe it or not, is 100% free to play. I have not spent a single cent on this game, which is crazy to consider that I have Praetus and Ingrid and Zarus and all those sorts of champions. But, you know, today we're showcasing Silas. If there's a specific champion you want to see showcased that I have on my account, certainly feel free to leave a comment and let me know. Silas, what makes him so good? Well, first of all, you use him everywhere. He is incredible in this game. When I go through the skills, I'm going to be going through them as if you've fully booked him out, because at any point, every player should have him booked out, because he's just going to be such a good hero that you're going to be able to use late game and basically in every single piece of content. Even with new content coming out, we've still seen significant use cases for Silas. So definitely put your books into him. You won't regret it. He has a talent. Deals 20% extra damage to airborne units after attacking 5 times. So on the 6th attack each time, he's going to trigger soul sniping. What does it do? It deals 140% damage that ignores 50% of the target's defense. Now inside this game, of course, there's magic resistance as well as defense, both of which can reduce your damage. The cool thing about Silas is he has the ability to ignore both essentially on his ultimate especially, which we'll get into. So he can be incredibly strong. There's not a single type of enemy in the game, to my knowledge, that he really struggles against. With his ultimate active, he can put out significant DPS against even highly resistant targets to, you know, the type of damage he does, which is the piercing. That being said, though, for example, there are some heroes that can do better than him against, you know, certain things, but he's still going to be able to do significant levels of damage on your account, even with relatively poor gear. So he has an A1, or a basic attack, that does 120% damage to one enemy, prioritizing airborne units. Of course, he is a marksman, so you're going to be prioritizing airborne, kind of as you'd expect. I can't talk today, apparently, but it is what it is. And then this is 100% base damage without it booked up. He has a passive, Blood Pact. If a unit within attack range dies, so his attack range specifically, he's going to increase his damage by 40% for 10 seconds. That is a huge damage increase. That is 10% less than a full stack of Soulbound Arcana after you've triggered your ultimate 5 times, right? It's going to increase your damage by 50%. He can then stack this on top if you have him built out inside that particular set, and it's going to last for 10 seconds. This effect can be triggered up to 1 time every 15 seconds. So essentially, in an ideal world, there's only 5 seconds of downtime of this damage increase, right? So you just keep killing people, and he's going to keep that damage increase up. Lastly, he has another passive, which is the Eye of Curse after attacking the same target for 5 seconds. So basically think of, you know, Guild Boss 1 and Guild Boss 2, where he's just doing a lot of damage to the same target, or Artifact Material Raid, as I'll show you here in a few minutes. He's going to inflict Eye of Curse upon the target for 12 seconds. Eye of Curse will be triggered only 1 time every 20 seconds. So, again, only 8 seconds of downtime on that, essentially. Soul Sniping will deal 50% extra damage to targets inflicted with Eye of Curse. So if you think about it, his soul sniping is going to do 140 damage, ignoring 50% of defense. We then get a 40% damage increase if somebody's died. Even if they haven't, he's still going to be inflicting this extra damage with his Eye of Curse. So it's incredibly strong. We have the ultimate here. Damage increases by 80%. 80%, people! 80%! It's hard to really say just how incredibly impactful and strong that is and how much of a DPS this guy is, but damage increasing by 80% is absolutely obscene. That's almost doubling his damage, right? And keep in mind, he's already ignoring defenses. He can boost his own damage, right? So just that damage increase alone would be a fairly solid ultimate, but it gets way better than that. And each attack becomes soul sniping, right? That ignores the defense and magic resistance of the target for 20 seconds. Finally, we have a bond skill. Obtain Vierna, the Wrath Queen, to unlock the following bonus effect. During the effect of Shadow Cloak, soul sniping deals an extra 100% damage. So this is Shadow Cloak, his ultimate. When you have that bond skill, he's going to be doing 280% damage, I believe is how that would imply. Either that or 240% damage. It's a lot of damage, right? That's what I'm getting at. It is a lot of damage. So this guy is insane. Let's take a look at his awakenings. Awaken 1 increases attack speed by 100 when his ultimate is in effect. Awakening 2 is attack plus 300. Awaken 3 is pretty interesting. When there are more than 2 marksmen on the field, increases damage of the hero and 1 random allied marksman by 15%. This awakening can be super strong if you're using him with, for example, like Hex in a certain piece of content or something like that. The 2 of them can do big numbers. Rage regen attack plus 2, kind of okay. And then finally, on Awaken 5, the Mark of the Curse will increase physical damage to the target by 15%. So not only is it boosting his damage, it's also going to boost any damages that are performed by anyone else on your team by 15%. It's just a simple 15% damage increase, which is pretty crazy. He does also have a very cool looking skin. If somebody wants to gift this to me, I don't even know if it's in like the gold shop. It was a time limited offer apparently, so I can't get it. But that being said, though, if somebody wants to gift me, you know, skins from the gold shop, that'd be pretty cool. I certainly will not complain. We're getting the Raid Shadow Legends special here with all of these pop-ups, aren't we? We're going to go and show his gear now. I forgot to do that, actually. So let's go back here. Let's go to Silas. This is the gear I have him built inside of. So I have an Infernal Roar set along with an Annihilating Might on the left-hand side. So in terms of the weapon, this is what we're rocking. We got attack bonus, crit rate, rage regen, and HP. Very not min-maxed. Ideally, you'd probably want to have crit damage on here and then, you know, whatever else, right? Yeah, flat attack, any sorts of stats like that are what you're looking for. We have crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, and HP bonus on the breastplate. We have attack bonus, of course, is the main stat here on the bangle, with some crit rate, crit damage, and then an insane attack speed roll there. Attack bonus, again, on the amulet, and then finally crit damage on the ring. So one thing to keep in mind about this guy is he does have a significant amount of ignore defense inside his kit, so you can, all things considered, build him with a lot lower attack than other heroes on your account, and you'll still get significant damage output out of him. We're at 113 and 335 on the crit rate and crit damage, respectively, and under 13,000 attack, but this guy is still one of the best DPS heroes I have on my account. Let's go to defense team. For single target, let's take out what we're using currently, and let's just throw in a Silas and a Cyrene, and we'll go ahead and show you his damage capabilities here, essentially, and I think you'll be pretty impressed. Like I mentioned, I'll also show him to you in Artifact Material Raid, since I know that was one of his hotspots for use. So we're going to go ahead, we'll place Cyrene, so that she can essentially just come out and start. That's not where I meant to put her, by the way. That's not where I put her at all. I put her on the second one, and then it like moved my camera and made me place her somewhere else. So let's try that again. Let's just go ahead and speed it up a little bit here. I definitely like to showcase heroes inside the arena like this, because you can kind of control for like stats and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to let him just take care of this enemy with the basic attacks. I do still need to go over, and you can kind of see there's his mark as well that appears on the enemy, so he's going to do additional damage. I need to go over like his artifacts and stuff like that as well, so bear with me here while we do that. We're going to go ahead and pop his ultimate now, and you'll see how much damage he does to the second enemy. He's just going to delete them, essentially. Basically a two-tap, 150,000 per hit, and we're already through the second wave. This is absolutely insane. Realistically, in the arena, especially, the only other heroes that really do damage like this are going to be something like a Valeria when she's charged up and she does her stab into the ground and damage burst. And then the other option, of course, is going to be like a Valderon when he triggers his, I think it's his talent that can go off there, right? So, absolutely obscene damage. He is probably one of the... He's probably the strongest hitting DPS in the entire game, all things considered, because other heroes are going to have weaknesses in terms of either single target or, you know, they're countered by magic resistance and those sorts of things. He can just say, screw you, I'm going to do damage to you no matter what, which is just so ridiculously underrated. I have him built out in an Ichor Chalice at a full 25, level 25, so it's going to increase his damage by 15%, and he's also going to have some lifesteal effect. He does have a exclusive which increases damage dealt by 5%. Blood Pact now triggers periodically instead of triggering upon enemies' death in range. So it's very, very strong. If you remember, Blood Pact is going to be his passive here. where he's increasing his damage. So having an artifact that allows that to trigger periodically is essentially going to be, you know, just a cheat code for like clan boss and those sorts of things, because he doesn't have it predicated on killing somebody, which is very, very strong. Lastly, just to kind of showcase his talents a little bit further here, we're going to go ahead and take him into Artifact Material Raid. And then the particular place that I used him was on stage 18 here. So this was kind of before we had the introduction of, you know, 19 through 22. So let's go ahead and let's see what he's capable of. This is on auto, by the way, so we do have, of course, Power of Dominance enabled, but as soon as he pops off his ultimate here, you are going to see just how much damage he can do and how quickly. Now, obviously, with Power of Dominance on, I do need to come through here at some point and just increase my, or, you know, make it a little bit more optimized, essentially, because he could pop his ultimate a lot sooner. And he has more rage regen and whatnot since I last did this, so he can do it a lot quicker there. But as you can see, we beat it in no time at all. Silas is basically the only champion that did any damage to the boss there, and he did over 10 million damage just in the matter of, like, what, 3 seconds? Right, so he is just absolutely obscene. I use him all the time inside my guild boss as well. So if we come in here to our guild boss, and then if we take a look at me, I'm top 4 inside my clan. And then, of course, you can see Silas is up here with inside the top 3 damage dealers on my team, which is pretty crazy. So he's doing 87 million, actually more than Hex. Hex is a bit... I need to rebuild him, I think, on my account. I don't really get too much damage out of him, unfortunately, but you can see what a strong hero this guy really is. That being said, I hope this guide, or I hope this showcase, was helpful for you guys. Let me know down below if there's any particular heroes that you want to see showcased, of course, and I'll see you next time.